The best strategy for new traders is something that's maybe not going to be the most popular thing to hear, but I'm going to assume and just be upfront with you so I can honor your time that if you are just simply in the markets because you saw somebody wearing a Rolex in their Lamborghini sitting out on some beachside yacht, then yeah, you're probably don't watch this video. You just go do your thing. But if you are somebody that says, you know what, I want to turn this into a consistent stream of income. I want to do what it needs to take in order to create a dependable, side hustle, full-time type gig, whatever you want, but you're in it and you understand, yeah, the glitz and glamour, whatever, but let's just get down to business here. Let's actually focus on what actually matters and get all this sell the dream marketing out of the way. And let's get down to kind of the nuts and bolts of things. If that's you, then please watch the video and I want to show you what I would definitely recommend as the best strategy to use when you're getting started. And the strategy that you need to focus on when you are getting started is one thing and one thing alone. And it is all about this question. What is going on with your habits? Are you having good habits or are you having bad habits? And this is not like biting your nails, but in the world of trading, habits matter quite a bit. And I've done videos on this before, but what really trips people up is they're making this money, but the problem is the habits that are causing this are bad habits. And that's the other tricky part about the market is just because you have bad habits, it doesn't mean you automatically lose money. No, in many cases you'll make money, but then all of a sudden, because they are bad habits, it just takes that one or two trades and poof, things get really, really nasty. I mean, have you ever been there before? I mean, if maybe you're newer, I don't know, down in the comment section, let me know. I know I've had many of these where you think you got it figured out, but it's actually just the bad habits and then ouch. So the point being, you need to focus on habits. So that brings about the question of, okay, well, what is the best way to get, so now that we know habits, obviously we want to have good habits, right? So the big question becomes, okay, well, how do you get good habits? And to just go a little bit deeper down that rabbit hole, how can you get good habits in the safest way possible? Now, first off, I get it. You may be saying, well, that's what you use a simulator for. That's what you use paper trading for. And that's true. That's valid. I can't say that that's worthless because that would be misleading. But I don't care what anybody tells you. When it comes to simulated trading, a demo account, paper trading, whatever you want to call it, and then you put real money on the line, there is a difference. And it's really, you can't explain it unless you experience it. But just realize that the best way to get good habits is, well, you got to get some money in the game. And this is also where I think within the past year or so, there's been some, in my opinion, some game-changing things created out there that can help you just do what you got to do to get good habits. And the reason I say that is in the world of stocks, when you're just getting started and probably don't have $25,000 because that's the amount you need to avoid this stupid rule known as the PDT rule. So PDT rule, pattern day trading rule is what it stands for. And that basically just really, really limits the amount of times you can make trades every single week. And it's a massive hassle. But the key thing is it deals with the stock market. And that's very hard. When you're trying to get good habits, when you want to be a day trader, but then you're being limited to a very small amount of day trades, I mean, that is very difficult. That's hard to get good at any strategy when you're being limited so much because of this stupid rule right there. And I'm not a huge fan of excuses, but there are certain situations out there where I'm like, yeah, that's a valid excuse. And when people say, Clay, I'm trying to form good habits and I'm trying to form, I need a strategy that's going to allow me to get those good habits and all of that. But what about that PDT rule? It's really, it's cutting off my progress. It's really slowing things down. And yeah, I get it. It's annoying, but that's where the good strategy here that I'm going to talk about comes into play. And like I said, this is actually relatively new within the world of the financial markets. But what I want you to focus on and what I would recommend doing as somebody that's new and the best strategy to use to get that good habits is to use micro futures. Now, maybe you have no idea what futures are. Not a big deal. Down below, I'll link you to a free futures class that I offer. It's 4 classes long. I think it's right around 2.5 hours. So yeah, there's nothing like, well, hey, now if you want to learn futures, you got to pay me money. No, it's totally free. Totally free. So go learn about futures. And as part of the futures class, you'll learn about micro futures. So I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole in this video because you'll learn about it all in the class. But the key dynamic with first off futures is this. No pattern day trading rule. You can day trade as much as you want in the world of futures, as much as you want. There is no pattern day trading rule. There's no cash settlements rule. There's none of that garbage that trips up people that exist in the world of the stock market. None of it. So that's reason number one. And then reason number two is in the world of, not necessarily futures. If you just do futures straight up, I mean, you can lose an account, boom, just like that, gone. But the new thing that's been created are what are called the micro futures, meaning they reduce the risk to, well, I mean, no pun intended, a micro level where you can be risking very, very small amounts of money, but yet you still have real money on the line. And that's what we want. You want to learn about the emotions in your head. You want to learn how to deal with putting real money on the line, but you also don't want to have to deal with some penny stock or micro cap, for example, that can all of a sudden rip against you and your account goes poof. And then of course, with micro stocks, with penny stocks, you still have the pattern day trading rule. And and with that, well, you can get around it by sending your money to an offshore broker. All right, I will never recommend anybody sends their money to an offshore broker. I get it, some people do that, and that's on them. But for me, I'm never gonna recommend that. But that doesn't take away from the fact that when you're trading some of these micro caps and small cap penny stocks, I mean, because of liquidity and how low it is, I mean, things can just rip against you and it can take a huge bite out of your account. But that's not happening in the micro futures because the way it's set up, these are very liquid markets, meaning you're not gonna have some sort of massive move against you. I mean, you could, but again, that's where the good habits come into play. If you're practicing good habits, then you're still gonna be able to manage the risk the way you should. And you use the micro futures to just build those good habits. And the reason why good habits matter is because habits are scalable. So sure, in the micro futures, maybe you're making 10 bucks, 15 bucks, 20 bucks, 50 bucks, 100 bucks, 10 bucks, losing 20 bucks, losing 25 bucks, making 5 bucks. Yeah, I get it. Those are not like social media type numbers where they're massive, but you know what you're doing? You're building good habits. And when you get good habits, then all of a sudden that $50 becomes 75. And then all of a sudden it's 100. And then you're like, wow, I've been really consistent with this $75 to $100 range. You know what? Why don't I actually just add in a little bit more money to my account? And now all of a sudden, it's 150, 175, 200. Wow, I'm getting that much more consistent. You know what? Let me add in some more money to my account. Now all of a sudden, $200 every day, $225 every day, $250 every day. Now, of course, you're gonna take some loss in there, but the general idea is if you have good habits, you can build upon that. Yes, and this is why I offered up the disclaimer at the start. You're not gonna just be like, well, first day on the job and I made 800 bucks. No, it's gonna be slow, steady grind because micro futures are a great way to keep risk, to reduce the amount of money you can lose. But I mean, that's two-way. That also means that you're not gonna be making massive amounts of money. But when you're just getting started, the amount of money you make should be the last thing you should be focused on. And once again, from a marketing sales pitch, probably not the greatest thing to say. So, hey, you got to pick the path of kind of just hustle, grind, do it slow and steady, build good habits. But that's the truth of the matter. That's what actually needs to be done. So if I were you and just getting started, the absolute best strategy that I would use is micro futures for all the reasons just discussed. So like I said, if you want to learn more about futures, and then like I said, I'll talk about micro futures within the class, just go down below, start the class. It's totally free. I mean, worst case scenario, you're like, no, futures are total garbage, or maybe you just think I'm a terrible teacher. But okay, so you're out. I think the first video is maybe 25 minutes long. So you're out 25 minutes of your time. That's your risk. Your risk is 25 minutes of your time. Your reward is maybe putting yourself on a pathway that finally allows you to build those good habits in a safe way and in a way that you can do it as much as you want, no pattern day trading rule, but it also allows you to get some real money in the market. So if you have any questions or anything on this, please leave me comments down below. I do read them, I reply to them. If you enjoyed this video, if you would like for me to make more like these, then a quick and easy way to communicate that to me, just hit that like button and also check out the channel as a whole. Hopefully you decide to subscribe. Thanks for hanging out. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.